Buckle up, everybody, because today we are going deep into the mind of Canibus.
Love it.
And we're going to be specifically looking at his song, M-Sea-Creasy.
Okay.
And this is one of those songs that, you listen to it and you're like, whoa, there's a lot going on in here.
Layers.
More than just rhymes, right?
Oh, yeah. Tons of layers.
Like how much is in this guy's brain?
Right.
And we're going to be looking specifically. Today, we've got 3 verses and the outro from pasted text.
Nice.
And, it's one of those things where you just,
it's
so dense, you need some help breaking it down. So
sure.
I've brought in an expert to help me unpack all this stuff.
Happy to be here.
So let's just jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Verse number 1.
All right.
Kicks off with some serious imagery.
Okay.
Out of the Umbilicus Mundi. This is lyrical lunacy.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Umbilicus Mundi, like, what is that?
Right out the gate, he's just coming with it.
Where is he going with this?
Well, it's a really bold statement right off the bat. Umbilicus Mundi means the navel of the world, basically.
Okay.
So it's this idea of a place that's like the center of the world.
Okay.
And often has like deep spiritual significance.
Okay. So like in ancient times, like Delphi or something.
Exactly. Like Delphi in ancient Greece or Jerusalem, places that were considered like
Sacred.
Yeah, exactly.
The center of everything.
So he's basically saying that his lyrics, they're coming from this place of profound, like, truth and origin. They're at the heart of something really important.
So he's not just like, I'm a rapper. He's like, no, I'm speaking from like
a position of authority, like a prophet almost.
And then he doubles down on that because right after that he says, bars of poetry without precedence, complete par excellence. Listen to the Leviticus Testament.
Yeah, he's not messing around.
What is he talking about?
So he's going even deeper there, right? He's bringing in the Bible now.
Yeah, the Old Testament Leviticus.
Leviticus is, exactly, and Leviticus is known for its laws and commandments.
Right.
Like, the rules, to live by.
Right.
So he's basically saying like, my lyrics, these are the new rules. This is the Leviticus Testament for hip hop.
Like a new set of scriptures.
Yes, exactly.
That's heavy.
It's heavy stuff.
And then he goes on and he's like, to understand me, you need help. You got to see the film The Day After Trinity, written by John Elsel, to understand that you must know thyself.
It's like, wait,
right?
How do these connect?
The Day After Trinity, I've seen that. That's like about the atomic bomb.
Yeah, it's a really powerful documentary.
It's a serious film.
It's super heavy.
So what is he doing connecting that to know thyself?
That's the thing about Canibus. He loves to connect these seemingly like totally different ideas to create these layers of meaning.
Yeah.
So The Day After Trinity, it's about, the atomic bomb and the potential for like destruction.
Right.
When humanity unlocks this knowledge that's so powerful, right? And then he connects that to know thyself,
right?
Which is this ancient Greek idea of self-awareness.
Right.
So he's basically saying that self-awareness is crucial to wielding any kind of power.
Whoa.
Whether it's, atomic energy or the power of words.
So like before you go messing around with stuff like that.
Exactly.
You better understand yourself first.
You got to know who you are, what you're capable of, what your responsibilities are.
It's like almost like a warning.
Kind of, yeah. It's like a cautionary tale within a rhyme.
Right.
Like, the knowledge is power, but it can also be really dangerous.
If you don't know how to use it.
Exactly.
Right.
So that kind of sets the stage for the rest of the song.
And then we get to verse 2.
All right, let's see what he does next.
And he starts going in on society.
Okay.
He's like, maybe Edgar Allan Poe's description of El Dorado is not... So, see, the reason there's no light at the end of the tunnel is because we're really not in a tunnel. We're trapped in a bubble.
Wow.
Like, whoa.
He's going there.
Yeah, so El Dorado, I mean, that's like the mythical city of gold.
Right, the lost city of gold.
So he's saying, like, is that even real?
I think he's using El Dorado as a metaphor for any kind of false promise, any unattainable dream that we're chasing that's keeping us from seeing reality.
Oh, right.
It's like instead of a tunnel with a light at the end, he's saying we're trapped in a bubble. And we're confined by these structures that limit our true potential.
So like society is the bubble.
Yeah, it could be societal structures. It could be, our own limited beliefs, anything that's keeping us from seeing the bigger picture.
That's deep.
It's deep stuff.
And then he goes and asks this question. And he says, can you explain why you believe hell is fiery? We're suffering from symptoms of drapetomania. Slavery isn't over. It just took a new alias.
Okay, now he's dropping some serious knowledge.
Drapetomania, what is that?
So drapetomania, that was a term that was used back in the 19th century.
Okay.
And it was basically this fake mental illness that they used to diagnose slaves who ran away.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's a really messed up part of history.
Right.
But it's an example of how power structures, they create these narratives to control people.
Oh,
They say, oh, you're running away because you're crazy, you have this disease.
But really, you're just trying to be free.
Exactly. You're just trying to escape a horrible situation.
Wow. And so Canibus is saying that's still happening today.
Yeah, he's connecting it to modern society.
Slavery is still around.
He's saying those systems of control, they haven't disappeared. They've just become more subtle.
Right. Less obvious.
Exactly.
And so he's saying, like...
He's saying our modern hell, it's not necessarily like a literal fiery pit.
Right.
But it's these invisible systems, that limit freedom and perpetuate inequality.
Oh.
It's like we're still trapped in this cycle of oppression in a way.
That's powerful.
It's heavy stuff.
Yeah. And then he goes and he gets kind of personal.
Oh.
He's talking about his own journey as an artist. He says, why write lyrics when I make a better living? Selling freeze-dried venom to wildlife clinics. Because I hate the thought of being a predictable bore. Once you get used to me, you won't love me no more.
I feel that.
Right, like a lot of artists struggle with this, right?
Yeah, it's that tension between artistic integrity and the need to make a living.
Yeah, you got to pay the bills.
Right, and he's afraid of becoming too commercialized, too predictable, and losing the respect of his audience.
You sell out.
Yeah, exactly. Is that edge.
And then he talks about the final soliloquy of the internal paramour and asks, what are we all to do when rap music is gone? Like, is he saying rap is gonna die?
I think he's pondering the fleeting nature of art forms in general.
Right, like nothing lasts forever.
Exactly. Empires fall, civilizations crumble, and even art forms, they have their time.
So is he being pessimistic?
Not necessarily. I think he finds hope in the enduring power of imagination. Because he says right after that, I hope God and the imagination are one. It suggests that even if specific art forms fade, that human capacity for creativity and imagination that's going to persist.
So there's always going to be something else.
Yeah, there's always going to be new ways to express ourselves, new stories to tell.
That's beautiful.
It is. It's like a little glimmer of hope in this verse that's otherwise pretty dark.
Right. And then he closes verse 2 with this. A golden tongue can achieve synchronicity with the sun transcended beyond the flesh and blood. Cause this is level 1 after this album, My Message is done.
Okay. Break that down for me.
What is he talking about?
So synchronicity with the sun, that's a powerful image.
It is.
Of transcendence. He's talking about aligning with a higher power, a cosmic energy through the power of language.
Wow.
His words are aimed at going beyond the physical realm to reach this level of understanding that transcends the ordinary.
Okay, so level 1 is this album.
Right. It seems like he's hinting at these other levels of meaning.
Right. Like there's more to come.
Yeah, there's a whole other dimension that we haven't even touched on.
But this album is like the intro. Yeah, the entry point.
And then after this profound statement about transcending, the flesh and blood, he goes and he's like, yeah, check out my upcoming shows. Get your tickets. It's like, whoa.
That's Canibus for you.
Yeah. What is he doing?
I think he's doing it on purpose.
Okay.
Like he's reminding us that even as he's exploring these lofty concepts, he's still grounded in the realities of the music industry.
He's got to promote.
He's got to eat.
Right.
It's a reminder that even prophets need to promote their work.
And then we get to verse 3.
Okay, the final showdown.
And he comes out swinging.
Right.
He's like, but you can't battle me, so you'd rather embarrass me. I maintain dignity in the face of calamity. They reach out their hand to me and talk dishonestly.
Oh, he's calling people out.
Yeah, he's like coming for somebody.
Who is he talking about?
I think it's like his rivals in the hip-hop scene.
Okay.
Like other rappers, critics, maybe industry people.
People who are trying to bring him down.
Yeah, who are not being real, who are prioritizing competition and ego over genuine artistry.
And he's saying, I see right through you.
Exactly. And he's not backing down.
It's like, I'm maintaining my dignity.
He's standing his ground.
Yeah, even though they're trying to play him.
He's not going to let them get to him.
And then he says, but I read through their syntactic structure like Noam Chomsky.
Okay, now that's a deep cut.
Noam Chomsky.
Noam Chomsky is like a legend.
Okay, remind me.
He's a linguist and political activist, super brilliant guy, known for his analysis of language and power.
Oh, okay.
So Canibus is saying he's dissecting his opponent's arguments with that same level of precision.
Wow.
He's not just battling rhymes, he's battling ideas and ideologies.
Like he's breaking down their words.
Exactly. He's seeing through the BS.
But that's got to be stressful, right?
For sure, being in that kind of battle all the time.
So how does he deal with it?
Well, he talks about taking a break from all that.
Okay.
He says, take a break from writing. Rhymes on paper recondition. My character changed my nature with 7 days of Vipassana, let go of the stress, man. I was deeply depressed, so famished, in fact, I needed a rest.
Vipassana.
Yeah, that's a form of meditation.
Okay, I've heard of it.
It's pretty intense. It's like deep self-observation.
Oh.
You know, you're just sitting there for hours observing your thoughts and your sensations without judgment.
Wow.
It's not for the faint of heart.
So he's using this to, like, chill out.
Yeah, he's using it to purify his thoughts, detach from negativity, find some inner peace.
So he can come back to the battle refreshed.
Exactly.
And then he goes on and says he's going to bless his rhymes with corn oil and wine and see the light in an illuminous paradigm.
It's getting kind of mystical now.
Right. What's he doing with the corn oil and wine?
I think it's symbolic, you know, it's like a ritual almost. It speaks to the power of intentionality, you know, seeking inspiration from a higher source.
Okay.
He's using these symbolic acts to elevate his craft and connect with something beyond himself.
So it's not like he's literally pouring corn oil on his rhymes.
Probably not, but, you know, it's about the energy, the intention.
Right.
He's creating a sacred space for his art.
And then he ends it with this line, I've just got to find the link between my inner deity and myself.
Powerful.
It's like his whole journey has been leading to this.
Yeah, it's the culmination of all the ideas he's been exploring in the song.
Right.
You know, it's that desire to connect with something greater than ourselves, to tap into that source of wisdom and guidance within.
Like we all have that inside us.
Exactly. It's a universal human desire.
So before we wrap this whole thing up,
Yeah.
let's take a look at the outro.
Okay.
Because he's got this quote in there where he says, people are usually terrified of poetry, and they don't realize that it's just speech. It is language that is sometimes extraordinary, but there are ways to deal with it without worrying about it the way they do.
Interesting.
So, like, what do you think he's trying to say there?
I think it's a message to the listener. You know, he's inviting us to not be afraid of challenging ideas.
Okay.
He's saying, don't shy away from complexity. Embrace the power of language.
So, like, don't be scared of Canibus's lyrics.
Oh, exactly.
Even though they're dense.
Even though they're like a puzzle box.
You got to put in the work.
He wants us to be active participants, you know, in unpacking those meanings.
Yeah.
Just like he's woven all these intricate layers into his rhymes, he wants us to do the same with our own lives.
To think deeply.
To question our assumptions. To really engage with the world around us.
So after this deep dive into M-Sea-Creasy, what do you think are some of the key takeaways for our listeners?
Well, I think Canibus has shown us that hip-hop can be so much more than just entertainment.
Yeah.
It can be a vehicle for profound thought, social commentary, spiritual exploration.
Right.
He's challenging us to look beyond the surface, to question everything, and to engage with art that demands our active participation.
Like, don't just passively consume.
Exactly. You got to get in there and wrestle with it.
Yeah. Right. And I think that's a good reminder for any kind of art.
Right? Absolutely.
Whether it's music or film or books or whatever.
There are always depths to be explored.
And so for anybody out there who wants to go deeper into Canibus's work,
Yeah.
I highly recommend checking out C Radio on Spotify.
Definitely.
They have tons of his stuff on there.
And if you're looking for some brilliant analysis of hip-hop lyrics in general,
Oh, yeah.
check out the RIPPERSUNITE channel on YouTube.
They do a great job.
It's a rabbit hole worth going down.
As you're exploring all this stuff, keep in mind that line.
What line?
I've just got to find the link between my inner deity and myself.
Right?
So think about that. What artistic expressions make you think differently?
Yeah.
And how can you connect with your own inner deity through creative exploration?
That's a question worth pondering.
It is.
For sure.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning,
Keep digging.
and keep those minds engaged.
Word.
Peace out, everybody.
See ya.